Today's video, I'll be showing you all how to cut your wood at 45-degree angles. And as I stated in my previous video, I'll be creating a lot of canvas making videos. So stay tuned, I have so much in store. But today I decided that I get in the studio and record a quick, in-depth show and tell to cut your wood. There's numerous ways that you can use a miter saw, but of course I bought a miter saw for my wood and my canvas making because I didn't want to ask or continuously ask an employee to cut my wood for me, and it took me sometimes forever to find someone to do it for me. And then of course during the cutting process it took forever. It was very time consuming, so I made it my priority to get a miter saw. So this miter saw I got from Lowe's and it cost me $300. And speaking of cost, I do have a video on how much I spent on my very first canvas frame. And a little bit of a backstory on canvas making. I started making my own canvases 3 years ago, and before that I had no idea on what the hell I was doing. So of course I did a lot of research, and with research I was able to experiment and figure out what was the best method or way for me to actually successfully build a canvas from scratch. So moving back to this miter saw, I purchased this for about $300, and the saw always comes with a blade. But over time, I must say that you will need to replace your blade because as you're cutting wood start to wear off, it's not going to be as sharp as it was when you first bought it. I haven't been using my miter saw as often. I haven't been making my own canvas frames lately, so the blade is still fairly new. But of course, once I start cutting more wood and use it more often, I will have to replace it and get another one. And usually the saw blades range from around $10 to $20. A really good blade will probably range from $20 to $30. If I'm not correct, I'll do some more research and I'll place it here on my left or my right so you guys can get an idea on how much that costs. But in terms of the saw itself, you definitely have to be careful with this. You do not want to put your hand near this area because, especially if it's plugged in, never put your hand near the blade, and always be careful with using this to cut wood, because I kid you not, the first time I used a miter saw I almost cut my hand because I wasn't careful. So before using a miter saw, please do some research. So there's going to be a reusable bag. This is where all of the wood shedding goes into. I'm not sure what to call it, but this is where where all the dust and all the, I guess, sawdust goes into. The sawdust goes into this bag, and of course over time you're going to want to empty it out and replace it back here so that way it's not full of sawdust. And then let's get to the good stuff. So I'm going to show you guys how I go about cutting the wood.
All right, so let's get started. So you're going to grab a piece of wood. This is just a sample piece to show you guys how exactly I position my wood on the miter saw prior to cutting. So there is a knob. As you guys can see, I am making sure that it's secure so that when I cut, the wood doesn't move and it'll just fly across the room. So I'm going to position my blade down, as you guys can see, and there is a red laser there that will help you align on where you will cut. And as you are sure and certain, you will bring the blade back and up, and there you are. That is your 45-degree angle cut, and you can do this for all your canvases. And this is the best angle to cut your wood because you are able to get that nice frame for when you fully built your canvases. So that is how I create my 45-degree angle cuts from wood for my canvases. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And if you like this video, share, like, and subscribe. Thank you all for watching. See you soon.